Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, the voice you know with the news you trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Zidua, the most trusted name in herbicides, providing Ohio soybean and corn acres with up to 2 weeks more residual activity and broad-spectrum weed control. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg reporting. Under cloudy skies, breezy conditions, 67 degrees on the barn thermometer. We did have some storms roll through last evening, giving us a little bit more precipitation than I had expected. I saw reports of several folks around the Buckeye State starting to plant beans the last couple days. A couple quick calendar reminders. Tune in tomorrow during midday as the Ohio Field Leader Road Show hits the road for Lorain County. I'll be visiting with Eric and Adele Flynn of Gordon Farms and Flynn Livestock. The Ohio Field Leader is a project of the Ohio Soybean Council and Soybean Checkoff. And then coming up on Thursday, we'll have our next monthly check-in with Farm Credit Mid-America. Tune in as we discuss the latest Farm Credit Mid-America news and updates. Let's take a quick look at what's making agricultural headlines at OhioAgNet.com, brought to us by Timty Incorporated. Doug Tinney has a feature article taking a look at what the market may be doing based on what's going on with the U.S.-Iran conflict, crude oil prices, and the weather forecast, including the potential for a strong El Nino being anticipated. Brianna Smith takes a look back at the Ohio Beef Expo and some of the success that came out of the video auction sale. Matt Hutchison with Seed Consultants takes a look at the importance of understanding corn germination and strong emergence. And you can take a look at this week's weekly crop progress update for the state of Ohio. All that as well as markets and weather online at OhioAgNet.com. And this look at what's making headlines at OhioAgNet.com, brought to us by Timty Incorporated. Timty is now factory direct in Sidney, Ohio. From trailer sales and parts and trailer service, our team is ready to keep you moving. Stop in today or call 326-206-2062. We mentioned the Ohio Beef Expo and the video sale. Let's catch up now with Brianna Smith as she has more details.
United Producers, Inc. recently hosted a national and entirely virtual feeder calf sale at the Ohio Beef Expo. The sale was held in partnership with the Ohio Beef Expo and Live Ag, a progressive livestock marketing platform that hosts online video sales for livestock and equipment. Joining me is Live Ag COO Ty DeCordova to recap the sale.
The UPI bunch asked us to come up here a couple months ago to kind of take on their feeder calf sale. We joined forces with them when we started Live Ag, and we appreciate them being here with us and offering us the opportunity to do what we do. But as far as the sale goes, we offered 23,000 head today. We sell right at 21,000, 21,500. We had an outstanding offering. The participation was really good from all across the country. The market was really good, so it was a great day.
You can read a full recap on the 2026 Ohio Beef Expo at OhioAgNet.com. Save the date for the 2027 Ohio Beef Expo, set for March 18th through the 21st of 2027. Reporting for Ohio's Country Journal and Ohio AgNet, I'm Brianna Smith.
Thanks, Brianna. Let's get a check now on your Tuesday morning weather forecast. This weather update brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com.
Scattered showers around today. We've got showers and thunderstorms in the forecast the next 2 days yet. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at that Ohio Ag weather update. Your Tuesday is mostly benign. The biggest threat of scattered shower action is going to be to our west during the daytime hours and then come in overnight tonight into tomorrow. So if there is a day that we can squeeze down a large majority of the state that is completely dry, it's going to be today. Overnight tonight through tomorrow, big chance of showers and thunderstorms coming together in northern areas, and then that moisture sags through the rest of the state through the day. Thursday also looks rather wet with showers and thunderstorms as well. I think we can still pick up anywhere from a quarter to 1.5 inches of rain between now and the end of Thursday. Dry everywhere for Friday and early Saturday. Rain comes back Saturday afternoon through Saturday night. We can pick up a quarter to 3/4 of an inch there. Much colder behind it to finish the weekend and start next week. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Joining me today is Alice Harris, and she is a technical service representative for BASF. Alice, we want to talk about weed control, and the concept is out there for a lot of growers. Start clean, stay clean. But I guess I wanted to dig a little deeper. What does that mean as we're going into a growing season like we are in 2026, coming out of the fall of 25 when it was really dry out there, and there may have been some herbicide applications that never quite got activated?
So Start Clean, Stay Clean, I feel really talks more to as we go into the spring season. Now, we can do some fall herbicide applications with residuals and obviously our burn down, but sometimes those residuals are not going to carry us as we go into the spring season. They're going to last a few weeks what they need to do in the fall. But when we think about start clean, stay clean, we're really starting that season off in the spring, which is right now. So we want to make sure that we're getting a good application, not only with our burn down, but adding those residuals in another time in this time of year. We want to make sure that we're getting the products out there ahead of time. We don't want the weeds to come up first, because with something like a residual like Zidua SC or even Certain, we need that product on the ground before the weeds come up. We need the activation there and really helping us start the season off and reduce the early season weed competition at the get-go.
My guest again today is Alice Harris. She is a technical service representative for BASF. Alice, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me, Dusty.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
For farmers, it can be a challenge to navigate life from time to time, and agriculture can magnify those moments. Hi, I am Nathan Brown, a Highland County farmer and a member of the Ohio Farm Bureau Board of Trustees. Farmers, you are not alone. Help is available if you're dealing with stresses of farming. If you or someone you know is struggling with stress, text 4HOPE to 741-741 or visit go.osu.edu/agcrisis. A message from the Ohio Farm Bureau Federation.
Hey farmers, planting season is almost here, and Ohio AgNet wants to bring lunch to your farm. Our Feeding Farmers contest is going statewide, and we'll soon be picking farms across Ohio to receive a visit from the Ohio AgNet and free lunch for your farm family and crew. If you'd like us to stop by, get signed up today. Just visit ohioagnet.com/feedingfarmers to enter. Feeding Farmers is brought to you by Ag Revolution, Paradise Energy Solutions, and the Ohio AgNet. The voice you know with the news you trust.
I am Scott Ruck from Wayne County, and this is the Ohio AgNet.
Thanks, Scott. Let's check in now with Ty Higgins, as he recently had a conversation with Matt Hutchinson from Seed Consultants about the importance of germination and emergence in the corn crop.
As planting is set to begin across the eastern corn belt, important to review and understand what occurs during the corn germination and emergence processes. Uniform corn emergence, one of the most important aspects of stand establishment and producing high-yielding corn. Understanding germination, emergence, and how environmental factors influence these processes is the first step towards ensuring uniform emergence. Joining me from Seed Consultants, their agronomist, Matt Hutchison. Matt, always great to see you.
Thanks, Ty. Good to be here.
Why is having uniform emergence one of the biggest factors in achieving high corn yields?
If you have a plant that's 2-3 days late in its emergence, it's significantly reduced in yield. We've done studies ourselves where we've monitored the emergence as the plants come out of the ground, put a little stake by them with the date, and then come back in the fall. And there can be, even on a couple days delay, there can be 20, 30, 40 bushel difference in yield. The delayed plant is much worse. And then if you have a plant that's delayed 4, 5, 6 days, it may not even put on a harvestable ear. So the key is to try to get all your plants coming out of the ground at the same time, so they're all pollinating at the same time. If you have some that are significantly behind, they're essentially a weed. They're competing, but they're not really putting on a harvestable ear when it comes to harvest time.
And there are so many factors involved, at least in the first couple of days after planting, as Ohio growers get anxious to plant a little early. What soil temperatures should they really be targeting for?
I think you want to be at 50 degrees soil temperature, and it's expected to continue to rise over the next week or so. If you plant into cool soil temperatures, that seed's just going to lay in the ground and it's not going to do anything. And it doesn't do us any favors to have seed just sitting in the ground in adverse conditions when it's cold, wet. Opens us up to more pressure from insects and diseases. So I would recommend monitor your soil temperature, and when it's at 50 degrees and it looks like we're going to continue to have warmer weather that will help raise that soil temperature, that's the time to plant if you want to get that uniform emergence as quickly as possible.
You mentioned cold, so the temperature of the soil, but you also mentioned wet. If we happen to get a cold rain right after planting season, what kind of problems might that cause?
So that's another critical thing that we run into from time to time. That first 24 to 36 hours a seed is in the ground is a really critical period. That's when it's taking up moisture, it's imbibing water to start that germination process. So not only is it important to monitor the soil temperature, but you need to be aware of the forecast. And even if your soil temperature is adequate, but in the next 12 hours, you're going to get a cold snap and a lot of rain, that seed, if you plant now and then you get a cold, wet rain immediately after, that seed's going to take up that cold moisture, and it can cause a shock. It can cause the seed not to germinate. It can cause damage to the seedling. We've seen chilling injury. I'm sure everyone's seen pictures of that where the seedling is deformed or leaps out underground or kind of does some strange things. It's important if you want to get your corn crop off to a good start, not only pay attention to your soil temperatures, but pay attention to the forecast. And it's counterintuitive sometimes, but you're better off to keep the planter in the barn if you're going to go through a cold snap and a lot of cold rain in the next day or so. It can hurt the crop if you plant right ahead of conditions like that.
That's Matt Hutchison with Seed Consultants. He and I talk about all the other factors to consider before getting that planter out of the barn and getting that corn in the ground. Our full conversation is online now at ohioagnet.com. I'm Ty Higgins reporting.
Thanks, Ty. Stay tuned. We'll be back to take a look at your markets after this.
If agriculture is your way of life, you need news you can count on. That's why Ohio farmers turn to Ohio's Country Journal, your source for the latest in crop updates, livestock insights, market trends, and the stories that celebrate country life across our state. Every issue keeps you informed, connected, and ready for what's next in Ohio agriculture. So don't miss a beat. Renew your subscription or sign up today at ocj.com/renew and grow with the publication built for Ohio farm families. That's ocj.com/renew.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Taking a look at some of the things impacting the beef market, between the frighteningly thin movement in the fed cash cattle market and the choice cut prices averaging less than select cuts, there was a lot to take in during last week's trade. It's been a back and forth battle between feedlot managers and packers as they obviously want the market to trend in opposite directions, but with Mother's Day and Memorial Day both coming in the next month, packers know they cannot afford to be too short bought. As we've seen recently, that can add to the cash market and cause it to jump wildly, which then pains their bottom line. Let's take a look at what's impacting the grain markets. Today's market analysis is brought to you by the Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky, Ohio. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113.
Grain market started the week off on a mixed note. We were flat on corn, down sharply on soybeans, and soybean meal was mixed, soybean oil weaker. Then the positive news, all on the wheat market, where we had double-digit gains across Chicago, Kansas City, and Minneapolis markets. The wheat numbers were buoyed by some areas in the hard red winter wheat belt missing rain. I really don't think that was all that was in play. So we're going to be watching the wheat market closely here the next couple of days. Now, soybeans were down because of concerns about China. Rumor has it that China is preparing some kind of air defense package sale to Iran, which would tick off the United States. The United States says no. Well, some would say, well, maybe China gets out of this by saying, hey, we'll buy soybeans. I don't think that's the case. It's the concern here that we have some significant geopolitical players coming in here, and that really weighed on the markets. 3,400 soybean contracts sold yesterday by Managed Money. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's take a look now at how your markets closed. This market recap brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. May corn closed down 0.75 cents, and July corn was down 1/4 cent. May soybeans closed down 13.5 cents, while July soybeans were down 13 3/4. And May Kansas City wheat closed the day up 12.5 cents, while May Chicago wheat was up 11 1/4, and May Minneapolis wheat closed the day up 13 cents. Now in the overnight trade, we find positive numbers for both corn and soybeans, as May corn is up 1 3/4 at $4.42. December new crop corn's up 1.5, $4.72 1/2 cents. May soybeans are trading 1/2 penny higher at 11.62 3/4 cents, with November new crop beans up 1/4 penny at 11.50, and wheat for July trading 1/4 penny higher, $5.91 1/2 cents. In livestock at the close, April live cattle were down $1.12 1/2. April lean hogs down 22.5 cents. Feeder cattle closed the day, though, up 47.5 cents higher. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ohio AgNet.